Step into the chilling realm of true crime as we unveil a tale that will send shivers down your spine. In the dead of night, when darkness cloaks the world and dreams should dance in our minds, a sinister incident unfolded, forever staining the peaceful streets of Dublin, Ohio. The unsuspecting Dr. Christopher Osborn and his wife sought solace within the embrace of their beds, unaware that this slumber would be their last. The night that was meant to offer respite transformed into a haunting nightmare, leaving a gaping void in the hearts of their community. As the investigation unravels, secrets and shadows intertwine, forcing detectives to traverse a treacherous labyrinth in search of truth. Prepare yourself to be immersed in the bewildering case of Mr. and Mrs. Osborn, where the line between darkness and light blurs, and the echoes of their untimely demise linger in the stillness of the night. Meet Holly Osborn, an Ohio resident whose life took a tumultuous turn on that fateful day in July 2018. Born in April 1976, Holly had dedicated herself to the noble profession of nursing, driven by a deep desire to bring healing and compassion to those in need. Her journey in Ohio had been marked by resilience and a determination to make a positive impact on the lives of patients and their families. Enter Dr. Christopher Osborn, a distinguished figure in the medical community and a beacon of hope for countless individuals. Born on March 17, 1968, in Victorville, California, Chris was destined for a life devoted to medicine. With a degree in pharmacy and a doctorate in osteopathy, his commitment to patient care was unwavering. A compassionate soul driven by the philosophy of putting the patient first, Chris was not only revered as an esteemed ER physician, but also cherished his role as a loving father and embraced a multitude of interests beyond his medical profession. Fate intertwined their lives as Holly and Chris crossed paths while working at Mary Rutan Hospital. Love bloomed, leading them down the aisle in 2016. Yet behind the veil of marital bliss, shadows lurked, and the couple faced their fair share of challenges. Chris's infidelity cast a dark cloud over their union, leaving Holly grappling with shattered trust, fear, and the weight of her insecurities. The strains in their relationship were evident, as revealed through heartfelt yet tumultuous text message exchanges. On a summer evening in July 2018, a cascade of events set the stage for a tragic end. Chris, seemingly oblivious to the turmoil within his marriage, enjoyed an evening with friends, while Holly, consumed by suspicion, discovered incriminating text messages on his phone. The threads of trust unraveled further, and in the following days, Holly decided to seek solace with her parents temporarily. It was on a fateful night, amidst an emotional roller coaster, that Holly and Chris engaged in a profound conversation at a nearby park. Little did they know that their lives would be forever altered when they returned home. In the early hours of July 18th, a cryptic message on social media sent shockwaves through their world, igniting concern within Chris's daughter. Desperate for answers, she reached out to her father, only to be met with silence. The veil of uncertainty thickened until a series of loud bangs shattered the tranquility of the neighborhood. What unfolded next was a harrowing scene. A life extinguished, a family shattered. Holly's account of that tragic night painted a picture of darkness and confusion. Amidst the haze of alcohol, she awoke to a horrifying reality. A lifeless Chris lying in their bed, gunshots piercing the silence. In a panic, she reached out to her father, unable to comprehend the magnitude of the situation. Dublin police arrived promptly, met by a disheveled Holly, whose impaired state further complicated their investigation. As they discovered the lifeless body of Chris in the presence of firearms, a daunting task lay ahead, unraveling the truth and seeking justice. Months of meticulous investigation followed, as forensic evidence was analyzed and interviews were conducted. Holly, the primary suspect, faced the scrutiny of detectives, her life hanging in the balance. The wheels of justice turned slowly, but eventually the weight of the evidence led to her arrest. Charged with felony murder, Holly's journey took an unexpected and tragic turn, leaving a community in shock and grappling with the depths of human darkness. As the courtroom doors opened for Holly's arraignment, the echoes of a shattered marriage and a life lost lingered in the air. A gripping tale of love, betrayal, and the unrelenting pursuit of truth emerged, challenging our understanding of human nature and the consequences of our actions. The courtroom was brimming with anticipation as the state of Ohio versus Holly M. Osborn case unfolded before them. Amy Littlefield, representing the state, stood confidently, ready to present the prosecution's case. Tim Merkel, on the other hand, prepared to defend Mrs. Osborn's innocence. "Good afternoon, Your Honor," Amy began, addressing the judge. Amy Littlefield on behalf of the state of Ohio. The first case in the state of Ohio versus Holly M. Osborn, case No. 1901789. 2 counts of murder with the use of a firearm specification. Tim Merkel, with determination in his voice, stepped forward and stated, "Good afternoon, Your Honor. Tim Merkel on behalf of Mrs. Osborn. We enter a plea of not guilty, waive reading of the indictment, and time for service. Acknowledge an arrest date of April 12th, 2018. The judge turned to the prosecutor, asking, "Do you have anything you want to ask before we begin?" "Yes, Your Honor," the prosecutor replied. "Would you like the facts first or my questions?" The judge considered for a moment and responded, "You can give me the facts first. On a fateful morning, Dublin police received a distressing call from the Logan County Sheriff's Office. The caller reported that Ed Hall had discovered his son-in-law, Chris Osborn, dead in their Dublin home. The officers arrived to find Holly Osborn, seemingly under the influence, leading them inside. The shocking sight that awaited them was Chris Osborn's lifeless body on the bed, a gunshot wound to the head. 2 handguns lay nearby, one belonging to Chris and the other to Holly. As the investigation unfolded, it became apparent that Holly and Chris had a troubled relationship, in the process of separating with the intent to divorce. Holly's struggle with alcohol and her history of memory loss and suicide threats were revealed through interviews, text messages, and voicemails. Forensic analysis confirmed the presence of gunshot residue on Holly's hands and eyebrows, with her DNA exclusively found on the gun's trigger and grip. The prosecutor passionately argued for an appropriate bond, emphasizing the gravity of the charges and the potential penalties. They requested strict conditions, including no alcohol or prescription medications for Holly, 2 drug and alcohol screens, surrendering her passport, and no contact with the victim's family. The defense, representing Holly, proclaimed her innocence and reiterated her not guilty plea. They vowed to demonstrate the insufficiency of the prosecution's case and questioned the burden of proof. Days turned into weeks as the trial unfolded, revealing the complex dynamics of Holly and Chris's relationship. Prosecutors portrayed Holly as a jealous and insecure wife, grappling with alcohol issues, driven to a breaking point by her husband's infidelity. Graphic descriptions of the crime painted a harrowing picture of a wife approaching her sleeping husband and firing 3 fatal shots at close range. Prosecution's evidence included forensic findings, DNA analysis, and testimony from experts. In response, the defense tirelessly challenged the prosecution's case, seeking to discredit the gunshot residue testing, casting doubt on the manner of death, and scrutinizing interviews of Dr. Osborn's former employees. After a week of intense courtroom proceedings, the jury began their deliberations. Their verdict came in, finding Holly Osborn guilty of murder on both counts, along with the use of a firearm to facilitate the offense. The sentencing followed as the judge declared a term of 18 years to life in prison for Holly. Despite her legal team's request for a bond during the appeal process, the judge denied it, ensuring she would remain. The case of Holly and Christopher Osborn is a heart-wrenching tale that shakes us to the core. It serves as a somber reminder of the significance of prioritizing mental and emotional well-being, urging us to seek assistance when emotions like jealousy, anger, and resentment threaten to spiral out of control. In the face of this tragedy, we must also recognize and commend the unwavering dedication of law enforcement officials and forensic experts who tirelessly pursued justice for Chris and his grieving family. Thank you for joining me on this journey. And until next time, take care of yourself, look after each other, and stay safe.